Oh my gosh, Disney made a Chip and Dale movie. Please let it be good. Please let it be good. Please let it be good. Disney made a Chip and Dale movie. Oh my goodness, have I been looking forward to this. You might be able to tell I'm a little bit of a fan. Yeah. I have always loved Chip and Dale since I was a little boy, and I watched the old Chip and Dale and Donald Duck cartoons, and then Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I love Chip and Dale. They are my absolute favorite. And when I heard that Disney was making this movie, I freaked out. I gotta tell you, I finally saw it. So we're gonna get right into it. I will tell you right off the bat, I was really worried that they were going to do something really wacky and they were going to like ruin the characters and ruin the whole thing. I gotta say, I loved it. I thought it was hysterical. I laughed so much. There's a number of great references, ages references. I'm going to try to not do any plot spoilers. I may do a little bit of like some joke telling, but I'm not going to do any plot spoilers. I will tell you that it reminded me of an old school Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers episode. I love the fact that they brought back the voice for Gadget. That was awesome. The main complaint that I have about the entire thing is that the Chip and Dale voices, I understand that they referenced and they do reference and they try to make it, they do this thing where they try to explain why Chip and Dale's voices are different.
Wow, thank you. And thank you again for watching the show. It really means a lot.
You are gross.
I know, I just missed the squeaky voices. They always had squeaky voices. They had squeaky voices in the original cartoons, and they had squeaky voices in the Disney afternoon cartoons. I didn't like the voices. Now, I appreciate the voice actors. They did a great job. But I gotta say, I wish they brought Gadget and, and I did appreciate using the Allstate man for Zipper. That was hysterical. I don't know. I've always had this thing about bringing in big name stars to do voices, and while they did a great job, I just wish that they had still used the squeaky voices. Now, I do appreciate the fact that they reference them and they bring them back and they do have a couple moments. That was cool. But yeah, that's my only complaint. Now, here's what I do love about it. One of my favorite movies of all time is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And Who Framed Roger Rabbit references were throughout this movie because they did it much like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The tunes are in the world and everyone's okay with this, and that's how they do it. And that was awesome. And having the Who Framed Roger Rabbit references and all those things were fantastic. They did a really good job of mixing the CGI and the animation and the people. I did like the fact that they had a mix of everything. They had CGI, they had people, they had animation, and that mix was really cool. I like the fact that it wasn't just animation or just CGI. I did appreciate that. I did find the CGI Dale to be pretty awesome. I also liked the animated Chip. I liked the throwback, and I also liked the fact that they even animated his mouth to move like it did in the Rescue Rangers episodes. I definitely liked the random characters that they threw out there. I'll use one. It took me a moment to figure out who it was. The one thug, and you know he's a thug right away, so I'm not giving anything away. The one thug is the Coca-Cola bear, and it took me a while to realize that that's who it was, that it was the Coca-Cola bear. And that made me laugh when I finally realized it. It was when I got a full look at the Christmas sweater is when I finally figured that out. So that was pretty cool with the references and the Irreverent movie billboards where they just like basically are making fun of that whole bootleg concept. One of the plot points is this bootleg thing. I'm not gonna get much else away, but they have these like throughout this universe, they're having these movies where it's just basically like just mashups of all kinds of different things, and those I think it's kind of making fun of the bootleg industry, which I was appreciative of. And then on top of that, they were like solving a crime around the bootleg industry, which I appreciated too. That was really good. So in general, I liked the movie. I thought it was great. I laughed a lot. The 90s references were fantastic because I was a kid of the 90s, and having those 90s references in there was just fantastic. I liked the Andy Warhol in the back of Monterey Jack's apartment of Monterey Jack's face. That was kind of after the Marilyn Monroe concept. That was really funny. I laughed at that when I saw that in the background. It was just like a throwaway gag that they put in there. One of the things that I really appreciated was the fact that they still had Fat Cat be the main villain in a way, and I want to give that away. He's not really the main villain, but they kind of used Fat Cat's face as part of the story. It was actually kind of funny, and I appreciated that, having Fat Cat show up from the original Rescue Rangers. I also really liked the fact that Brian Tyler, the composer of the score, was slipping in the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers in all kinds of different ways. There was like heroic fanfare version. There was like a sneaking around version of it hidden into the score. Fantastic job, Brian Tyler. Great job with that score. I enjoyed having the references to the Chip and Dale's theme. All right, so what I didn't like, they even mock it about using a pop singer to do it, and they had Post Malone do the Chip and Dale theme. And while Post Malone's you love him or hate him, they even joke that people would rather have heard the real theme, and we would have rather have heard the real theme. I would have probably like fist pumped into the air and been super excited if they'd actually used the real theme instead of the Post Malone thing. Not saying Post Malone's version was bad. It just, after doing all of those references and then never really hitting it hard, that's the only complaint that I have about music choices. I wish they hadn't done the Post Malone thing. And I don't care that you made fun of it. You shouldn't have done it, in my opinion. That's me. But other than that, it was Brian Tyler, thank you for saving it by referencing it in your score. That was awesome. Oh, one little thing. This is a little thing. Chip and Dale's a kid's show. I'm a school teacher. I teach band. I really wish that they hadn't slipped a couple cursing moments in there. It's not really bad. It's just there. And I didn't like it. It was a kid's show, and I understand you're trying to make it for the adults that were watching that kid show as well as their kids, but they didn't have to slip in the couple moments. It's not really bad. They don't use really bad curse words. They didn't need them. I think it was a little bit extra. But other than that, the plot's really funny. It's perfect Chip and Dale. They have exactly the right personalities on Chip and Dale. It's fantastic. They have the wholesome moment like they always have. They had Gadget and Zipper in there and Monterey Jack, so they brought the whole gang together. They brought out the old Rescue Rangers plane. It was great. Everything you wanted from that movie, plus it was in that very awesome Who Framed Roger Rabbit style. Definitely see it. I give it an 8.5 out of 10 because of those other things I talked about. But I loved it. I thought it was great. Michelle laughed with me. She wasn't even the biggest fan of Rescue Rangers. She knew the show. She watched it a little bit, but she was like, this is really good. It was really funny. We enjoyed it. You should watch it. Watch it with your family. You will enjoy it. And remember, we here at Carousel Douglas don't like to say goodbye because we're going to see you real soon. So we say, see you bye. Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, Chip and Dale, when there's danger.